Hi everyone, this is Dawn from Keller Williams, and I'm here to talk about making offers for your clients using Command and Docusign. So here we go. Let's share the screen, and I will show you how to start making an offer. All right, so by now you should be able to see the screen, and we are in the MLS. There's a couple things that you should gather together before you start creating those documents. So first of all, open your MLS to the property that you are making an offer on. You will want to scroll down and click on the agent's name that is the listing agent. So click on that and it will give you this screen. So you'll have the agent name, the agent office information, and as well as their email address and license numbers. Those you'll need. Okay. Next thing you'll want to gather is go back to your MLS and look at the tax records. So click this button and that will show you this screen. The tax records owner will give you the owner information, the owner billing address, and also your lot and block number, which are right here. Okay. So once you gathered those things, then hop on over to your command screen. Okay, and let me go to the right screen. So in command, go to your opportunities. Okay, and you will create an opportunity using the green button right here. So create the opportunity. And if you're in multiple offices, those things will come up, and also on a team. So some of you might be on a coaching team, you might be on another team with a rainmaker. So you make sure that you choose the team, because you can't make an opportunity without being in the team environment. Also, if the client is not already in the system on the team side, you just create a new contact. So I'm going to choose Greg, as we have done a lot of training videos with Greg's name, and this is not a listing opportunity. We're going to do a buying opportunity. That is very important that you check the buyer opportunity if you are creating a buyer contract. All right, let me just slide this down, and that is now buyer. And over here, commission rate is important. It's a required field, so put the commission rate for the listing that you are going to be making an offer on. All right, now you just create the offer. What we're doing is we're setting up the folder, the opportunity for all of the information inside the command opportunity. Go to documents, which is right here. Once you're in documents, you may need to check that you have all the residential information. Sometimes it doesn't always come up. You'll have a folder for consultation, a folder for under contract, and a folder for close. So right now we're looking at under contract, and I do see that the placeholders are right here. This is all the required documents that you will need. The next important thing is you're going to choose start transaction, and this will create the link between command and Docusign for this transaction. Okay, so click start transaction, and you're going to be ported over to your Docusign account. And that will create a room, which is where all of the documents are going to live, and you'll have them signed. And once they're signed, we can slip them back over into the command opportunity. And that's how you get them to your compliance department for your office. All right, so here we have all the documents that are necessary for the room. And we're going to start building our contract. The first thing you're going to do is jump on over to details. It's really super important that you click on the details first, and you're going to use the edit button. It's the blue button on the right hand side of the screen. All we need to do here now, we're in Ocean County, New Jersey, and all you need to do is make sure that you have the location information right here, 190 Princeton Ave in Brick. Let's go back. Ocean, and this is in Jersey, 08742. So that's all I really need for the location. The next thing I'm going to need is on the right side of the screen, and that is the seller information. So I'm going to jump back over to the property details, and I'm going to copy the seller's information. back over to command, and you just pop that seller information in there. The only other thing that you need is their address. Okay. And this is in New Jersey. Okay. And postal code 08742. For time purposes, I'm not going to fill out all of the sellers, but the listing agent name, as you may have noticed, Maria and Danielle are both working on this together, but for, like I said, for time purposes, I'm only going to add one of them in here. And here's Maria's name, so I'm just going to grab her name, copy it, and then go over to Docusign, pop that in here. And her name, information, cell phone, business, and the company, you can do the same. You can grab all that and copy it, and you can paste it. So company, right? And in this case, she is in our office, so that makes it easy. And by her being in our office, we are also dual agents. So that is a dual agency transaction. All right, Point Pleasant. And then I'm just not, I won't put listing agent 2 in, but the buyer, let's say the buyer is Greg, and I would put his information in here too. Okay, I would fill all that out completely, but there is no buyer 2. The buyer agent is me, and if you have not found, if your information didn't show up in here, you can go back into your address book and find, come on, Dawn. There we go. Let me just click myself, fill in the contact. There's a lot of, I'm listed in there several times, so it doesn't always show up with my company name and everything. Okay, so I'm going to save this. And the most important thing next is to go over to the documents. The document section is right over here. And the first thing I'm going to do is create the contract. So there are a couple of ways you can do it. You can edit it by just clicking in there, or you can right click and the action buttons will be right here. So these are all the actions that you can do on this document. Now, the important one is here. Before I started this, and for a long time now, I've been using templates, and that can be another video. I'm going to apply the template that I've created previously because all of my details are listed in the template. Okay, so now once the template is applied, then I can click in there and start filling out all the details for this particular property. All right, so when we get into the document, you'll have the buyer's names, the seller's names, and all of the details and pertinent information about how they are paying for this. So of course you would want to have your client's pre-approval form ready. You'll want to know how much they want to offer, how much they are putting down on a property. Okay, so here you go. You'll want to add in your name here when you are the one that is preparing the contract. And you'll see the buyer's name is here, buyer's address, seller's name, seller's address. All right, one of the things that doesn't show up is that you have to put the municipal tax map. Okay, I want to make sure that that's correct. Now, block and lot number, remember that was on the tax records. The tax records are here. And the block is 869.3 and the lot is 8. So 869.3 is the block, 869.3, and the lot is 8. Okay, and then now you only have to worry about the purchase price of the house. And in this case, let's go see what is the price of this house. It's $649. It's a brand new listing. Now, this is a mock contract, of course, so we're just going to put some information in here. So let's say that we're going to offer $650. Okay, the initial deposit, we put 0 in here, and because we're not taking money before the attorney review. Additional deposit, well, let's just say that the client is putting 10% down. If it's 10%, that would be $65,000. Okay, Out of the $65,000, let's say they're putting 20 of it. There we go. As the additional deposit, okay? And that would leave the mortgage. Let's just do this. 90% of 650 times 0.9 is $585,000. Okay, and the balance would be, let me just double check, $45,000. Okay, now hopefully that is all accurate, and let's just pretend it is. Now your initial deposit, we're not taking an initial deposit, nothing before attorney review. Your additional deposit is after attorney review. The money is going to be held in the trust account at the buyer's attorney. And here is where you are putting the mortgage information in. So that was $585,000. And let's just say that was a conventional loan. Always double check with the lender and the pre-approval that you have. And that is no later, we're going to have a commitment no later than 30 days from the day that we're actually executing this contract. So let's just 6/23/24. For some reason, it does not. My computer is hanging up. So I'm going a little faster than the computer wants me to go. Okay. And we're hung up a little bit. So as the computer is catching up to me. Okay. So now the balance of purchase price, that's the day of closing. So on the day of closing, that could be 60 days from the day that you're executing the contract. So let's just say that is 7/23/24. And then as per list, so now you're talking about the inclusions and exclusions of the sale. So go back to the listing and then come to the inclusions, which is down here. You're going to also use the MLS number in this. So the MLS number is 224-14137. 224-14137. 224-14137. Okay. And you're going to add all of the items that you just saw. Now this doesn't all fit here, so we're going to have to do something about that. So let's just take it out from the double oven. And where's the double oven? Okay, take this out. All right, now we should have everything. And is there anything excluded from this sale? Yes, it's the owner's personal belongings. It's the owner's personal belongings. So 224-14137. Okay, so there's that. Now down here, the buyer selects the buyer's attorney to conduct the closing. All right, and right here, certificate of occupancy, CO for compliance. Just put $500 in there. The attorneys will probably change it. All right. If the home is a single family home, which this is, then you're putting single in here. And then if there are tenants, you do need to list all the tenants. The lead-based paint, if it's applicable. Now, if the house is built before 1978, it would be applicable, and I would have to double check. So let's go see. The house is built in 1965. So yes, we do need to add the lead-based paint. Okay, we'll talk about that later. And these are all of the inspection line items. So I always put 10 days in my inspection timelines. The attorneys may change it, so I just put 10. Point of entry system. It probably does not have a point of entry system that's for water treatment, so I'm going to put not applicable. Cesspool, probably not. I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure that that house is a public sewer. Okay. Go down and find any other areas that need to be filled in. Again, these 10s represent timelines during the inspections. I just put 10s in there for good measure. Okay, all the way down here, declaration of business relationship, name of firm. This is Keller Williams. And this is you, the buyer's agent firm, okay? I know we are doing a dual agency on this one. And then in here, this is the name of the licensee. This is me. Information supplied by, all right, this is, in this case, it's also Keller Williams, Ocean Living. And we are actually disclosed dual agents in this now. Here are the license ID fields, and you find them in the MLS right here. So license ID, this is her ID, and I just copy it and I jump over here and I paste it. For Maria, it's there. And let me go back and take the office ID and the license, copy it, and then paste it in the right place. And then down here, all of my information is there because I was actually using my template. Okay, so here's the commission rate, and let's just go see. What is the commission rate on here? It's 2% minus 200. That's what the offering is. Pretty soon that might change. It may not be available for us to see. We have to call the listing agent and find out what that offering is. And if there's no offering, we have to get it from the buyer's side. So that's another conversation. All right, is anybody a real estate licensee? We're going to go with no on this one. The buyer or the seller are not licensed by the state of New Jersey. And is there any addenda? Right now we know that there's lead-based paint, and I don't believe there's any other addenda. Let's say your buyer does not have to sell a property. Okay, any additional contract provisions? Let's just say we're not selling it as an as-is property. We're not getting the C of O. I don't see anything in here that's going to need to be included in the additional contractual provisions. So one thing, let's just say that my buyer, let's just say that the buyer has no contingency. This contract is not contingent upon the sale of another property. The buyer has no house to sell. And actually, I'm going to copy this and put it on the next line. Okay, so once you finish that, you save and close it. And as I always teach, send out the most important document first to your clients, and then you can follow up with some additional papers, additional documents, supporting documents. You'll be sending them any addendums, wire fraud notice, Open Public Records Act. You'll also have to retrieve the information from the listing agent about lead paint and seller's disclosure. So that's all important there. Now, once that is completed, I'm going to send it into an envelope. There's two ways to do it. You can choose envelope here, but I don't like to teach it that way because I think it's a longer way to do it. And then I go to the form. The form is right here, the 118 form. You can use the right-click button and choose Create Envelope. There's another way to do it. I didn't mean to click into the document again. I have to close that out. I wanted to show you the other way to choose the envelope. And once this opens up, I can close it again. Just takes a second. All right, so what we're planning on doing is close. We're going to create the package that goes out to your client. So if it's one document or multiple documents, you'll send them in what we call an envelope in Docusign. So two ways. You could either right click it, or you can click the little box. Once you click the little box here, then the envelope shows up right here, the create envelope icon. Click that icon. You're going to choose the recipients that are in here. So it's the buyer's agent and the buyer number one. That information is coming from the documents that are that you're choosing for the envelope. Okay, so it's saying, hey, we need the buyer's agent, we need buyer number one, buyer number two, we need the seller, we need the seller's agent. They are all on that document, but who is going to sign it today? Right, so today I'm only going to send it to my buyer. Okay, I have the contract, and then I have the recipients. Now, in contract form, we need to send it send the contracts to our clients to sign first, and then we sign after that. We are acknowledging their signature. So I can't have it go to me first. It needs to go to the client first. So you're going to change the priority, set signing order, change the priority. I'm 2, and Greg would be 1. Okay. So now it changes on the screen. So the number 1 position jumps up to the top of the list, and the number 2 jumps down. If you need to add a recipient, you could do that here. This is your subject for the email that goes out to your client, and you're going to say something like offer for your signatures, 190 Princeton. All right, and then you say, hi Greg, please review and sign where indicated. Thanks, Dawn. Okay, and now I'm going to click the next button. That's the action button on your Docusign envelope. Okay, click. Oh, somebody doesn't have a name and address. Okay. There we go. See, it tells you if you made a mistake. It's okay. So once you get this in here, and this is the last piece before you actually send it out to your client. And what you're going to do is make sure everything in the contract is correct. And I did this really quickly. So, and then this is not a real contract. So I may want to change something. Somebody asked me the other day if I needed to make something mandatory, how can I do that? I believe if you're choosing something like this, you open the rules, decide who the, okay, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on, complete that. There we go, back to the screen. This is the preview. I clicked on that by accident, but you could actually preview what your clients see. So if you wanted to see all the signature spaces and if everything's accurate, you can look at this before you send it. Okay, let's close that out. But this is where if you needed to add a text box, you needed to redline anything, you needed to check, this is your opportunity to go through it and make sure that it is accurate and ready to go. A couple things that I wanted to show you here. On the left-hand side, you will see the people listed in the drop down, and they are randomized with colors. So when you see the color here, that means that that would be the person signing. Okay, I can click and drag a signature placeholder for any of the parties that are involved. If I wanted to do that for both parties, I can click and drag that there. Okay, and then once I'm done, then I just send it. All right, and Greg will receive that in his email, and then he'll click and sign as he goes along. Now I wanted to show you what the envelope looked like when we do that. All right, once this is done, it is sending over to Greg, and now it says that it is waiting for others. And if I click on this, it will tell me that the envelope was created and it was sent on 5/23/24 at 6:30 p.m. These are the parties involved. I could either resend it to the client, I can correct it if I have to change something in the document, or there's some other options that you can use in the envelope. All right, and then once Greg signed it, I would be prompted to sign it as well. It would either be here or it would be in my email. So that's how you create at least the contract. And then when you're done with that contract, you would want to follow up with all the other supporting documents that you need inside that offer. So the state requirements are the seller's disclosure, lead paint disclosure. If they are available, you must get them and have your buyer sign them. The wire fraud notice, which is right here, the wire fraud notice, any addendums, lead paint addendum, solar panels, swimming pools, anything like that. We require your Goldfinch and your Carnegie affiliate business relationships to be signed, because your client could use our title company and they can use our insurance company, but we do have to let them know that our company has a business relationship with them. So hopefully this helps get you started with your offer. Once the documents are signed, they will drop in with a little green checkbox here, and then you can download them and send them in an email from your own regular email over to the listing agent to make the offer. All right, I hope that helped. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Bye now.